So that is what happened before the semester started. So I was already off to a weird start. I mean, it was weird because I was feeling so emotionally drained, but I was also on to a good start because I already had an article written of myself, and I wasn't even a freshman in college yet. So the first semester starts, and I'm off to a rocky start because my mental health isn't the best, which, like I said, if you want me to explain further, I can in a different video, but this is not the story for that. In one of my classes, we have to do a group me. If you don't know what a group me is, it's kind of like a text messaging system where a bunch of people can be in a group chat at once, and we can notify each other of homework or if we need any help with anything, just in general, just to get in touch with everyone. I find out that students with a particular advisor, since all the students at my college have an advisor, like a personal advisor for them, which that advisor has a bunch of other students that are personal to them, but each person has their personal advisor as a personal situation for each person. I don't know if that makes any sense. There's an advisor that's set for a bunch of students, but the students only have one advisor. That should make more sense. I didn't know who my advisor was. I mean, I had a kind of like assumption that who it was, but it ended up being someone different. And there was, since I'm going into college for education to be an elementary school teacher, a certain advisor had to email the students about a teaching opportunity that they can do while they're in the college, since this group chat was only students that were involved in the education program. I did not know that the advisor that was supposed to email all the kids or students, freshmen, about a teaching opportunity, which was free, and you can do it to improve your skills as a future educator, was the advisor that was supposed to email me to. This advisor emailed every single student under their list in this freshman class of future educators, but me. I didn't even know who this person was, my advisor, and she didn't email me about this teaching opportunity. And at the time of this opportunity, I found out through GroupMe. And I didn't know that this advisor was mine. So when a teacher messaged a bunch of students from this class saying, if you have this advisor, then you get to go under this teaching opportunity. And I commented and said, wow, that'd be great. I wish I had that advisor. Little did I know, I actually did. I had that advisor. And that advisor never emailed me to give me this opportunity. And by the time I found out who my advisor was, it was already too late to register for this teaching opportunity. So I was really pissed. And when I finally found out who my advisor was, I called her. And this was at the time where I was having problems with my technology teacher. This is where it's gonna get like a little messy, but it wasn't fun. Trust me, it wasn't. I had a technology teacher this last year. She was a very stuck up person. I know that sounds very harsh, but that's just who I see her as. And I don't mean like ill will. I'm just explaining you the situation as I saw it when I was in the situation itself, when it first began. And at first, she was really nice. She appeared to be very nice, and I did not see anything wrong with this teacher. So when I was confused about a situation, I emailed her, as any student would if they had trouble. And she did say that if you have any trouble, let me know and I can try and help you. So I emailed her because I wasn't at school at the time. And if she didn't answer her email, I would just ask her in class the next day. Well, she answered my email totally disregarding the subject of the email and the question that I asked her, and told me to look at the syllabus, which, if you don't know what a syllabus is, it's a thing a teacher gives students to outline the entire semester of what they're going to teach and what each day is going to consist of education-wise, and the rules that apply to the class, as well as the grading system and all the materials, just all of that in one packet. And usually in college it's online. So that's why she said, check the syllabus. And so I checked the syllabus. It said something different than what my question said, because I heard her say something in class that was confusing to me. So I asked her a question about it. She disregarded it, told me to look at the syllabus. I looked at the syllabus and it said something different than what she said in the class. So I screenshot the syllabus, the part of the syllabus that said something disregarding what she said in class, and told her this is what I'm looking at and this is what I'm confused about. And she took that as an offensive email and started giving me sass and telling me that I shouldn't be that rude and watch my tone. I was kind of confused because I was just trying to get help and she wouldn't help me. If she would have helped me in the situation to begin all of this trouble, there wouldn't have been a situation. It would just be, here's my question, here's the answer, done. That could have been the end of it. But no, she had to fight her way around what I asked. It got really irritating because even when I proved her wrong, she still said, well, look at the syllabus still, I'm right, you're wrong. And it was kind of at that moment where I realized, oh, she's one of those people. So I'm like, okay, so let me not contact her anymore. I kind of had to contact her again because I missed one of her classes because my alarm didn't go off. The class that I don't want to miss is hers because I was already on her nerve. But I missed her class because my alarm didn't go off. So I emailed her and I said, I don't know what went on in class. I would like to know what went on so that way I can know in the future. And she emails me and says, oh, I'm assuming that you won't do the alternative assignment. Me, not reading the syllabus very well, didn't know what she was talking about. And I took offense to that because I didn't say anything about an alternative assignment. I just asked her what the class was about that day. And she avoided that and assumed something different. So I got offended and asked her why she would assume something that I didn't even say. And so I looked at the syllabus just a little bit, and just like a little bit, like I briefly looked at it and skimmed a part of it that told me, okay, this is the alternative assignment, you need to write 3 pages of what the class consisted of. Luckily in that class I had a friend who knew what went on in the class because she actually went to that class that day. So I asked her what the class consisted of, and she told me. I stayed up from 7 p.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning writing this paper to give to her to prove her wrong, because that's just how I am. So I emailed to her late in the morning, well, late at night I guess you can say, but early in the morning, at like 3 o'clock, saying, hey, I finished, here's the 3-page paper of what the class is about. And she did not like that because you're supposed to actually miss class from a doctor's appointment or a doctor's note, like an actual like emergency band or something in that nature. And I didn't have evidence of me going to the doctor or needing medical attention, and that was the only way I can get out of class without getting an absence. So I did not know that, and I kind of made a fool out of myself by sending that to her and telling her not to assume anything, and that was totally my fault, and I own up to it. At this point, I was so pissed off that I already contacted the dean of the school because I could literally see right through her. And I might have overreacted because I've never gone through something this severe with a teacher before, and this is my first time adulting, I guess you can say. So I was confused and pissed off for being treated this way. So I contacted the dean, and the dean sent me over to her assistant. And I talked to her about the situation. I was totally honest with her about the situation. She said I was very mature for saying what I mean and not being very stubborn and strong-headed like she was being and saying I'm right, you're wrong. I was owning up to my mistakes and telling her what had happened and what's the issue and what I see, and I just wanted to resolve the problem without it getting too far. So she told me to make an email to make a face-to-face meeting with her to resolve the problem. I did not want to do that because, for one, I thought I'd make the situation worse, because if she said something that was very inappropriate, I would snap at her and make it a lot worse than it needed to be. So I'm just like, I will try, but if I don't do well, it is what it is. And she said, yes, I understand where you're coming from, and she understood that the teacher was not being appropriate. I make the appointment, and she schedules with me a day. After I did that alternative assignment 3-page paper thing to prove her wrong, she actually reported me to a school organization where, I don't remember what it was, helps students get along with the teachers, and it's kind of like a student representative. And I had to be in a meeting early in the morning